Johnny?
How you?
I'm good, good. What's going on?
Not much.
Oh,
Doing the doctor tour. The doctor tour.
doctor.
Went to dermatologist today. So anyhow.
Stay out of the sun, right?
Yeah. No, I check myself twice a year because
Yeah.
I had a couple of things. So
Yeah. My doctor told me to wear, when I drive with the top down, to wear a hat because
yeah, of course.
I would burn my scalp.
Yeah.
So I got a hat for Shabbos even because I'm afraid it hurts.
No, I know. When I had a few convertibles. So
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
The best thing is one of these wide brim hats, those safari type
Yeah,
hats.
yeah. Just a little
Hello.
but it works. That's
Mhm.
practically those are the best.
Yeah, the one I have, I forgot it in Israel.
Oh no.
Just to get another one.
When next time on your safari.
Mhm.
Ah, hi Mario.
Hello.
We were 28 today, no?
Yes.
Yeah, it's fun. So
I think I fell asleep yesterday.
you slept like a baby
I think I fall asleep every night, every stuff.
every daf.
Actually, by now I should be pretty much back to local time.
Yeah,
Takes what, 7 to 10 days. I'm here already almost 10 days.
yeah. Have to get you more exciting daf.
Yeah. Well, some nice stories.
Yeah.
You still doing Stefanski?
I haven't done the last couple days.
Uh-huh.
But he wastes a lot of time. Everyone says, "Oh, he wastes so much time," but that's part of the shtick.
His shtick. I can't stand his shtick. That's what I can. They sell
Yeah.
merchandise.
Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah, socks and all sorts of stuff. Yeah,
It's like ridiculous. What is this? It's like a whole.
a bazaar.
Yeah, it's like a shindig. It's like a business. It's like a.
It's a cult. It's a cult.
Yeah, I don't like it. I really don't like. I mean, what, you have to sell merchandise?
Work socks. Maybe this
They
does work.
try. They do a trial and error.
Trial
Trial
and
and
error.
error.
Yeah. Irony.
You know?
Hi.
But you would think the Israelis would figure it out and try to
Yeah, it's supposed to be so
and
smart.
close the loopholes. No, you have to close the loopholes.
The Wall Street Journal knows about it. They better know about it.
Uh-huh.
Hey, Kobe.
Hi.
Tav Chedam and Aleph 28. My Binayu, what's the difference between the two versions? Iki Binayu, Gava Yad v'Gava Rekel, the back of the hand and the back of the foot. The Amravada Barmaslam Rav, Gava Yad v'Gava Regel, that had a wound, Harehin Kamaka Shel Chalal, it's like an internal injury, and was Chalam and Shabbos, and it's Sakar Nefashos, and you bring Machal Shabbos. And now we're going to go through a whole litany of various types of diseases and injuries that you can Machal Shabbos for.
Sorry, where are we holding? Just at the
Tav Ches
top?
Amar,
Aleph.
Tav Ches Amar.
You near the top, or what's going on?
Yeah, I did the first three lines.
Okay.
Amrav Zitra Bartuvia Marav. Kol Maka Shetzricha Oimed. If a wound has to be evaluated by a physician, if he can survive the wound or not survive the wound, so such a wound, Machal Nalei Shabbos. Such a wound you can treat on Shabbos because it's Sakana Nefashos. Amrav Shem Bar Abba Amrav Yechlin Va'ahai Ishtat Smirta. It's a fever. It's a burning fever. Yeah, a fever is Kemaka Shel Chalal Dami. It's treated like an internal injury. Mechalam Melasa Shabbos. And it's Pikuach Nefesh in Mechanal Shabbos. Now, Mehechan Maka Shel Chalal. What is considered an internal injury? Pirush Ravami min asafe v'lifnim. Anything from the lips on the inside. Anything internal to the lips. Boy, Rabbi Eliezer. Kachi v'shini mai. The teeth. What does that have the status? Kivan dakushinis, then they're hard. Kamaka de broidum. It's considered like maybe an external wound. Or dilma, kivan the gavaikami, they're internal to the lips. Kamaka shel chalaldam. Am Rabbi Toshma choishesh b'shinav. Somebody has pain in his teeth. Lo yigma behen esachomis. On Shabbos, you shouldn't gargle with vinegar. That was a treatment for, I guess, pain in your tooth. And a refu on Shabbos is also if there's no sakana. So it's only misha choishesh hu shelo. It means he's got a little pain. Koivle too, but he has a lot of pain. Then Shapir Dami, he's allowed to be Mechal Shabbos. So we have an answer that injuries of the teeth or diseases of the teeth are considered like an internal injury. So maybe Dilma Tana Hecha de Koivle tu v'choishesh nami koivle. Maybe the Tana considers severe pain also choishesh only. Therefore, we need more proof. Torshma. Rav Yochanan chash bitzaptina. He had some kind like I think it's scurvy, some kind of illness in your like in the gums and
It's
mouth.
it's thrush, yeast infection.
Thrush. Okay. Mizge in French, mizge. So there was a certain Roman matron, I guess, who was an expert to heal this. Avda Chamsho Mali Shabta. So she prepared Lo a 3-day treatment, Thursday, Friday, and she wanted to do it Shabbos. So he told her, I can't come to you on Shabbos. So she claimed the 2-day treatment was enough. So then he wanted to know if I needed it, what would be the treatment? Amra, so ishtabali delo megilta. She wanted him to take an oath that he would not reveal the treatment. He said, to the God of Israel, I won't reveal. So she told him the treatment. The next day he went, Rabbi Yochanan went out and publicly revealed this treatment. Frankly, he swore. Yeah, but he swore to the God of Israel I won't reveal it, but but to the people of Israel I will reveal it. Yeah, but she understood that he wasn't going to reveal it, and it's a chilul Hashem. So the Galilei Mekar, so he told her right away after he took a note that the oath was not a real oath, and he was going to reveal it. Well, the fact that Rav Yochanan wanted to learn a treatment for a tooth problem that he could do on Shabbos, it sounds like Alma Kemaka Shechalal Dami, that this thrush is considered like an internal injury, and it's Bikuach Nefesh, and you can treat it on Shabbos. Amr Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak, Shiny Tzapti Naholu Maskal Bepeva Gorm De Me'ayim. Yeah, but this thrush, it may start in the mouth, but it ends causing an infection in the intestines. So it's like an internal injury. My simoni, what are the signs and symptoms? Rami midi beikachi umaisi dama dori. If he puts something near his teeth, it bleeds. Mimai havi. Where did this sickness come from? Mekriri kriri dechiti. From very cold wheat. Mechami are very hot barley. Umishiri kasa daharsna. There was a dish with fish, fried fish in oil and flour, like a breaded fish. Now, my Avdule, what is the treatment for this? Amar Vacha B'rei Derava, Mesa or barley that's soaked in water, V'shem and Zayit, olive oil, umelach, and salt. Umar Barvashi Amar Mishcha de Avza, Begadfa de Avza. Goose fat in the feathers of a goose. Amar Abaya Ana Avdi Kulav Lo Itzai. Abaya testified that he had tried all of these remedies, they didn't work. Until an Arab told him, I see kashyasa dezesa the love malach tilsa. Bring some olive pits where the olives had not ripened a third. The kalnu amr charata v'davik bei tedori. And he toasted them in fire. And he placed them on his teeth, on the gums, and it healed it. Rav Yochanan Achi. How could Rav Yochanan treat this illness on Shabbos? Or how could he go to a goyeta to be treated? We learned yesterday that any wound that is pikuach nefesh, we don't go to a goy because they'll kill us. And for the Gemara, Adam Chashuv shiny. The goyim are careful with an Adam Chashuv not to cause damage. For the Gemara, Ravavo, Adam Chashuv, Ramala Yaakov, Minos Sama Askei. Ravavo was an important person. Yaakov the Min put some elixir on his thigh. If they didn't lick it all up and clean it all up, they would have amputated his leg because this was a poison. So you see, this Goyish doctor didn't treat Ravavo well, even though he's an Adam Chashuv. So Rav Yochanan wrote for Mumcha. This Roman matron who was treating Rav Yochanan was an expert. So we said, if you're an expert, a Mumcha, you can rely on them because they're not going to do anything to ruin their reputation. So Ravo Nami wrote for Mumcha. That doctor was treating Ravo, was also a Mumcha. Shari Ravo de Mukmi b'minei nafshayu. But they so much hated Ravavo that the Christians, the Minim, said, Thomas Nafshim Plishtim, I'm willing to die if I'm going to take him down with me. Like Shimshon said, I'm going to bring the temple down on my head, but I'm going to kill all the Plishtim. So they were prepared to accept damage to themselves to damage him. Amar Shmuel, Hai Padata Sakantihi. If you have a wound from a sword, so that's a sakana nefasha, so machal melesa Shabbos. Maya Sutta, how do you heal that? So a couple things. Lemifsik dama, to cause coagulation so that it doesn't bleed. Tachle b'chala, they soak watercress in vinegar. La asuke, to put it on the flesh. I'm sorry. Tachle b'chala is for the blood, is for control of blood bleeding. Lasuki, in order to cause better healing, Garda Yavla. There was some plant called Yavla, and they would put it on it. Vigirda Dasna, and some bush. Inikra Mikilkalasa, and they would get worms from a garbage dump. Now, this we've seen. There are plastic surgeons. Sometimes they clean up an infected wound with these worms. Amrav Safra Hai, Invisa Fructa de Malocha de Mutachi. People have these boils that look like grapes. It's like a shaliach of Malach HaMavis. It's a very dangerous thing and it could lead to death. My Asuta, how do you treat this? So you take a tigna, some kind of plant, beduvsha in honey, or carpasa betiliusa, or some kind of vegetable in vinegar, in wine. Adhacha v'hachi, and until you get these things, lesi invasa basmina, bring a grape with the same size of these as these boils, vinigdari loy, roll them there. White ones for white ones, black ones for black ones. Rava Hais Simta Frunka de Ashtahi. This is coming to swelling, which there's redness and swelling, which is a shaliach for fever. After you see redness and swelling in a wound like that, then you're gonna have fever. Maya Sutta, what's the remedy? Lemachaya Shitin it kutli. You strike the wound 60 times with your finger. The licorice of evet, and you tear it, you do an incision and drainage of an abscess. Hanimili delo chiveresha. That's if the head of it is not white. That seems to imply that the pus is still inside. Aval chiveresha less than bone. But if it's white, then it's not sakona, it's going to open up on itself, and you don't have to drain it. Rabbi Yaakov Chash bepika. He had hemorrhoids or fistula, some kind of lesions by the rectum. Oirile Ravami Vamila Ravasi Oirile. They said what the treatment is. Lacey Shev Beni Ola Tulna. They would take red seeds in aloe.
Aloe.
Right, aloe. B'tzayir lebechala devet savara. And they would take a shmata, wrap this stuff in the shmata. V'lichach alei nira barka. They would place rows of hair along it. The tomishle betinfa chivra. And they would dip it in white, like white fat.
Nafta.
Well, that's oil. Velikle uvaderle ilya.
This is dipped in white nafta.
And they would burn it. The
Mhm.
ashes on the area. Now, until you got this treatment, Lacey Kasita de Asna, they brought some kind of berries from a bush.
Mhm.
Pika ladi pika. And the crack of this berry, they would put opposite the crack of this wound. Vani milipiki law. That's, I guess, by the opening. Pikatatomai. What if it's deeper than that? Lacey tarbet its fit to deloy eftach. They brought goat chelev from a young goat, the liv shevelishtebe, and they would apply it to that area like a salve. V'ilo lacey tlas tarfa krod demiyav shebetula. They would bring 3 leaves of gourd that were dried in the shade. Velikli velivderi loy. They would burn it and then scatter the ashes on the wound. V'ilo, they don't have that. Laisi mashakti chalzone. They would take a snail something.
Shells of snails.
A what from snail?
Shells. The shell.
A shell.
Mhm.
V'ilo, you don't have that. Maisi moshach kira. You bring oil and wax mixed together. V'linkot b'sachi dekitna b'kai. You put it into a cotton shmata with the armor gufta b'sitfa. And the Babylonians would use wool. Ravavo chash ba'udna, he had ear pain. Orile Rav Yechon Avramila be midrasha. My orile, what did they advise? Kiyadam Rabaya Amrli Aim Abaya said her Abaya's maid told him, Lo Ivri Kol Yisa El Udna. The kidney arises from, excuse me, the ear arises near where the kidney is, and therefore the treatment of the ear issues coming from the kidney. Now, very interesting. We have antibiotics. Gentamicin is the classic one, where you get two types of complications: nephrotoxicity and ototoxicity. It damages the kidney and it damages the ear. So the Gemara already knew here some connection between the two. I mean, so Kihadam Rabbi Armili Aim, right. Manyumi Asya. Manyumi was a doctor. Kulish Shekaino Kasha Udna. All sorts of beverages are bad for ear. Lavar Mimaya declares except for kidney juice. Lysicoyus de Barcha Karcha. Bring a kidney of a ram, of a ball. Velikre Shesiver, tear it X and Y, tear it, make an X. Velinich Amnala Denura, let it sit next to some coals. Va'anamaya Denafkamine, the juice that flows out of it, Lishnayna Be'ibna, put it in the ear. But lo kriri v'lochmimi, not hot, not cold, elapshuri, just lukewarm. V'ilo laisi tarba dechipushusa gamlanisa. Bring fat, the chipusit is ashkravot, and Lashon Knan, krukim.
What is a scarab?
Ashkravot, escargot.
Oh,
Chipusit. Chipusit is some kind of insect.
hmm.
Shavi shumen shel chipusit gdola v'lisher v'lishtebei, and you sort of melt it and put it in the ear. V'ilo, if you don't have that, the ma'ila udne mishchab, fill the ear with oil. The levet shab tilted the aspasta. You take 7 wicks made out of like hay. The lice,
Wheat stalks.
yeah, stalks, which hay. The lice shufta de tuma. You take some olive clove. The lace of barka b'chad reisha, the lace of b'hunura. And there are hairs on this olive, and you put a hair of this thing in one end. V'shiadlik ben p'sil, and you light the fire. V'idich reisha musva b'udna. The other side you would put in the ear. The lace of udna lahadanura. And you put the ear next to the fire. V'yizdar mezika. And you should be careful the wind doesn't blow into your ear. V'nishkal chada v'nana chada. So that means you end up taking out a psil and put a psil. Lishtach rina v'lo. If you don't have all of this, lacy shev psil to biikra. Buy 7 wicks. V'shayfle mishcha de aspasa. And with oil of these stalks, nicely chadresha b'nerva chadresha b'udna. One end of it in the fire and the other end in the ear. V'nishkal chada v'nada chada. Take one out and put one in. V'yizdar mezika, avoid wind. Now, v'ilo, if you don't have all this, lysi udra dinada de lo mashkef v'nanachbe. You take like a colored cotton, like a sponge, put it in the ear. V'litlayla udna ladi nura. Put the fire and put the ear next to the fire. Mizdar mezika, stay away from wind. V'lo, laisi gufsa de kanya tika bar meir shonim. Take like a tube made out of an old reed that's 100 years old. V'limlichle milcha gaglanisa. And salt it. V'likle v'lidbech. And then burn it and stick it on the ear. V'simonech. How do you remember all these treatments for the ear? Retiva livshasa v'yabeshta l'retiva. Something moist is good for a drying illness. Velikli velid, yeah. And something dry for if the disease is moist. Amar Rav bar Zutra Amar Rav Chanina. Malim oznaim b'Shabbos. Somebody has a broken jaw. So that's a sakana. And you have to fix it on Shabbos. Tani Rav Shmuel bar Yehuda. Biyad avalo b'sam. You can manually fix it, not with the medicine. Ikadamri, sam avalo biyad. Some say with medicine you can't, but not by hand. My timer. Mazriv zorev. You might come to wound him, and then there's another chilul. Amar Zidra bar Tuvia Amarav. Ayin shemar merda. The eye is about to fall out. Mutter l'koichla. You could put some kind of medicine on Shabbos. Svor minei hani milihu desach samani. These herbs and spices have been ground already. Me'esmo. Aval mesach b'sabia asidech rishus. Or if you to grind it on Shabbos or to carry it rishus rabim d'oraisa, lo, you're not allowed to do it. I understood. You can grind these lechatchil on Shabbos, and you can carry it rishus rabbi mutter because it's sakon nefashos. Rav Yudah shar lemichel eina b'Shabbos. Rav Yudah allowed you to use this kind of makeup on the eye, which was medicinal. Rav Shmuel bar Yudah man sais liyudah machal shavi. You hear this, Rav Yehuda, who's Machal Shabbos? He thought that this was too lenient. However, L'sov Chashbe'en, in the end, he himself got sick in his eye. Shalach le sent to Rav Yehuda Shari or Osir. Shalach le l'kol am Shari. For everybody, it's permitted. L'didcha Osir, because you want to be Machmir. V'chimididihu, it's not my halacha. It's Mar Shmuel. I quote in the name of Shmuel. Ha'i am sadav bei Mar Shmuel dekat chola ene b'shabta. There was a maid who was in the house of Mar Shmuel, and he had a fever. She was yelling all of Shabbos. There was nobody who could come to help her. Poke eine. Her eye fell out. Lemachar nafik Mar Shmuel v'darash. Eye and shemer, if you're having trouble with the eye, mutter l'chok chalash, you can treat it on Shabbos. My time and the sharani de eine bu'uvnasa. The libatala, the ligaments of the eye holding it in place, they're connected to the heart. So there's a sakana. How do we diagnose this eye in shemerda? On Rav Yehuda Kagon, rira diyatza dama. The eye is draining like mucus, or there's blood that comes out of the eye. Or dimos of a kidcha, there is excess tears and there's fever. Betchilas uchla, and there's beginning of redness. Lafukisof uchla, and that's to exclude the case of the end of the inflammation, which is much worse. Upsuche eina, to open up your eye better so you can see better, low. So that's not a machla, and that's Asr b'Shabbos to do that. Amar Rav Yehuda Zibura, a wasp bite, b'decharze silua, or somebody has like a splinter in his flesh, v'simta, or some kind of pussy, like an abscess, v'dekoiv le'enei, somebody has pain in his eye, v'asi iluya ishta, he has fever, kulu be'e, all of these things, going into a bathhouse is a sakana. So you should stay away from a bathhouse. Chama l'chama. So eating radishes is good for fever. The silka beets, moil latzina, is good for being too cold. The chilufa sakanta, reversing that would be a sakana. Chamimi la'akrava v'kri l'zibura. Use warm compresses for a scorpion bite, and
Mhm.
use cold things for a bee sting, or wasp sting. The chilufa sakanta, using the opposite for that treatment, is a sakana. Okay, we'll stop here.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow also 7:00.
Okay.
Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah. We're gonna do the tsurba tonight at 8:00.
Okay.